Hello everyone, the Kentucky Patriot here. Stephen had mentioned a while back about doing a video basically of self-defense without a gun. And he had talked about the Kubaton, I believe it was. Long story short, I'm going to introduce Jeff here, but the thing of it is, we're gun guys, and I know most of the guys that watch this channel, their first instinct, their first thought, their first response to every situation is a gun. But we want to talk just a little bit today about when you can't have a gun or don't have a gun. And I know somebody's automatically going to say, well, I always have a gun. Well, you may be one of those guys. I've done a video on the importance of consistent carry. I understand that. But there is situations and times and places and where people can't carry a gun. For instance, if your child's in high school, if your child is in college, if you're studying abroad, or you're taking an airplane trip to another country or whatever, or another state, sometimes there is times that you are unarmed. And so I asked Jeff a while back, and he's busy. I've been busy, so it's hard to get together. And hopefully this will be the first part, maybe make a few more videos on this series. But Jeff was a professional fighter. He's worked in corrections, trained military, trained law enforcement. And the reason I'm telling you all this to give him a little background, because he is an expert in the field. And I'm not just saying this because we're friends. I'm not just saying this because he's sitting here. But he's absolutely one of the best all-around martial artists I've ever seen. You know, a lot of times people are really good at strikers, or they're really good on the ground, or they're really good with weapons. And Jeff is really the absolute best that I've ever seen all around. He's an excellent martial artist and a great guy. And my kids love him. He's just a really nice, down-to-earth guy. So a lot of times when we think of martial arts, we're not inciting violence. It's the same thing as when we're carrying a gun. It's to protect ourselves and our loved ones. It's not about an ego. It's not about being macho. It's not about proving a point. So don't take carrying a gun or martial arts as we're trying to be aggressive or cause anything like that, any kind of trouble or violence. But I'm going to turn it over to Jeff here a little bit, and we're going to talk to you about the importance of being able to defend yourself without a gun. So
there are times when, like you were saying, that you cannot carry a firearm. These times, like going into federal buildings, taking a trip out of the country, going on school properties, things of that nature that you cannot carry. And that doesn't mean that the threat of violence or the potential for you to be attacked is any less. So, having said that, there are times when you need to learn to defend yourself other than relying on a firearm. So, like he was talking about with the Kubaton, things of this nature. These things you can carry nearly everywhere. Okay, of course you cannot carry into a federal building, but this one little tiny stick can be used for joint manipulation, small strikes, and ultimately can save your life. Okay, and just as important, learning to use your own keys. Okay, lots of people will talk about lacing. This can hurt you. No one has time for this, and this is ultimately not going to help you. But just stabilizing a key for support, make sure it's the key that you need to get into your vehicle and or house, and this can be the difference between life and death. Okay, learning a little bit of unarmed defense and working on heightened awareness, just social awareness, is honestly the biggest difference between being a victim and not being targeted.
And just like having your key out like that as well, if you have the right key, you're not fumbling, you've got your head up,
right.
You're looking around.
You're free to look.
Yes, sir.
You're free to look.
And if you don't care, Jeff has trained, and several people, I think when you begin to talk about martial arts, they say, well, I'm not 25, I'm too old for this, or how old do I have to be to train martial arts? And Jeff will tell you in his experience, he's even trained people in a wheelchair. He's trained people of all age. Basically, when you talk about martial arts, you say, well, I'm never going to be Bruce Lee. Well, probably not. But the thing of it is, you can be better than what you were yesterday. You can be better than what you was 2 days ago. And it's about being able literally to defend yourself and protect yourself, especially children. The thing of it is, my my kids, as they get older, they're not always going to be right under mom and dad. When they go to high school, when they go to college, there's violence attacks and unfortunately rapes and murders that happen. And the more you know, I think just the better off you'll be. And Jeff is so well trained in so many arts and so many styles of defense. Like I said, he's worked corrections. He's done a lot of things. And actually, one time you was transporting money, and a guy tried to grab the bag, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a bank bag, and a guy tried to rob me, and I used my Kubaton here. As he was trying to steal my bag, I was able to wedge this behind his collarbone and put him down. And then I was able to call the police to come and take care of the issue. But apart from saving the bank bag, I was also able to protect myself and not get injured in the struggle.
And even if you don't work security like Jeff has for years, or work corrections or whatever, just like the time I told you about in the video, we were literally at Cracker Barrel when those two gentlemen approached us. Anything can happen at any time. And again, we're not against guns, obviously. We're not saying to do this in place of your gun. But if you can't get to a gun, you don't have a gun, like I said, your kid's on a college campus, I think the more you know. And there's a lady we know that's exactly what happened. She had to study abroad. She had to go overseas for college. You can't carry a gun, but she was a black belt. And
she was prepared.
And that's the thing. And the last couple videos we done a couple videos ago about being prepared, that's really all it is. And again, this is not being a bully. Like I said, Jeff's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. It's not about aggression. It's not about proving anything. It's just about really being prepared and being able to defend yourself. So when Stephen asked me about that, the thing of it is, I think the more you know, the more you have. And I'll tell you, we didn't discuss this beforehand, but another really good weapon that you can use, that you can take basically anywhere, is a cane. I'm not talking about the ones that pull out into a big sword. I'm just talking about a cane. You get a good sturdy cane, you can basically take that,
Absolutely.
I guess, everywhere, can't you?
Absolutely.
And really,
and as far as being able to defend yourself and taking martial arts, most people assume that yes, you have to be in impeccable shape, or you have to be young and active. That is not the case. I'm not training people to step in the cage and fight professionally, but training for day-to-day, training just for self-defense. Okay, this is across the board, 100% accessible for people with disabilities. Is something that anybody at any age can learn. Basic self-defense is something that anyone is capable of doing. I once trained with a woman who couldn't throw high kicks, could not, actually she could barely use her legs at all. And I promise you, because of the self-defense that she had learned, she had not only saved herself, but has protected her family on numerous occasions, and was able to do so successfully and with minimal injury.
And really, that's basically what it's all about, just keeping you and your family safe. And like I said, we don't want to. So I know somebody's going to probably ask me in the comments, what school, what arts did Jeff teach? Well, he is very good in many arts. I was going to say several, but it's probably more than several. It's many arts. He really is, like I said, all around one of the best I've ever seen. Like I said, there's a lot of good people in certain aspects, but he is all around one of the best I've ever seen. But but we're not going to mention a certain art or what school he's at, because we're on the World Wide Web. And like he said, he trains everybody from children, he changed my children, all the way up to adults of all ages. So the thing of it is, I can't give it away. I don't want to disclose any private information. But really, the thing of it is, if you're interested in martial arts, or you're interested in self-defense, there's just so many, even military styles, like the key issue that you said that you guys have is Krav Maga. Yeah, and there's so many different techniques that you can learn, so you don't have to necessarily look at a school and think it's only this art or that art. The thing is, if it's a good teacher, they probably ought to start somewhere, and they can always branch out, because there's nothing's better than something. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, and everyone has something to teach, whether it is, something as simple as social awareness, or something as simple as a minor wrist lock, or anything. every martial arts school has something that they can teach you that is useful, that may potentially save your life.
And like me and Jeff was talking earlier, it's like I said, we don't want to give out names or exact schools or arts or anything, but like I said, it's very good, and he does everything from knife defense, gun defense. So it's not just like I said, for sparring. It's not just for cage fighting. There's so many aspects that can help you, whether it's, like he said, wrist locks, joint manipulation, groundwork. If you get taken to the ground, stand up to be able to defend yourself, weapons. You teach gun defense, knife defense, just real life scenarios, plus the sporting art too. We understand it. That's a lot of fun. Kids like it. But there's so much that can be learned. If you're interested in this, like I said, I can't give it out over the internet, but if you're local and you know me and you're interested, and your child or your husband, your wife, your mom or dad or whatever, maybe training, learning some self-defense, you can private message me, and I'll be happy to give you some more information. But I think there's a lot to be said. I do, and I mean this, and me and Jeff was talking. We're not being mean or making fun of anybody. But I think even in gun defense, people, when you shoot a revolver, they say, well, you're not Jerry Mickey. Like, I know that, but I'd like to be better today than I was yesterday. So it's the same thing with martial arts, just being able to learn, just being able to have the skills, maybe to defend yourself, the situational awareness, like he said, to keep your hand up, your key out. There's so many things that we can learn. So if you're interested in your child, maybe learning some of this as they get older, being able to defend themselves, because the more you know, the better off you are. And if they start now young, like my kids, by the time they're in high school and college, it just gives you peace of mind that they're able to take care of themselves, to defend themselves. But any age, like I said, male, female, all different ages. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking for cardio, if you're looking for self-defense, there's so many things this offers. But again, like I said, I think sometimes people, we talked about Sun Tzu earlier, and I said this a lot on my channel, if you know your enemy, know yourself. The truth is, Jeff, I think a lot of times people take this concealed carry course and they go out and they shoot 20 rounds on target and they think, well, I'm ready. Well, the thing of it is, if 3 years go by, you've never been to the range, you've never practiced drawing, even though you have your permit, I don't mean to belittle anybody, but I don't think they're really ready for a life and death situation to be able to defend their life. And it's the same thing with martial arts, and it's no disrespect, I'm not being mean, but you can't watch George Foreman and think, well, I can do that. You can't watch a karate movie and think, I can do that. And I'm not saying you can't learn from watching, so to speak, or from instructional videos, but I think really having somebody with knowledge, somebody with experience, somebody that's actually had to defend their life, whether in law enforcement, whether in security, whether in, like I said, he no longer fights professionally, but he used to. Somebody with that kind of experience in real life situations that can help you. I think we really have to be honest with ourselves. When he said, when you know your enemy and know yourself, we have to say, can I really, do I have the knowledge, do I have the ability, if this situation arises? And like I said, this is what this channel has always been about, whether it's a gun, whether it's this, whether it's the knife that you carry, being able to defend yourself and your family, because, God forbid anything would happen, but Jeff, we live in a day and time when it certainly can.
That's true. And with martial arts, everybody has the idea that we train fighters. I don't train fighters. I train people to become better adjusted citizens. And having said that, Miyamoto Musashi always said that we train in the martial arts so these things are useful in all aspects of our life. Not simply the warring, but social awareness, but every single part of our lives. We can use these skills.
So, like I said, we don't want to give any out personal information. This is the World Wide Web. But if you're local, you're interested in your kids, yourself, whoever, even if it's just for physical fitness, just to learn, just for the camaraderie, let me know. Like I said, I'll be happy to get you in touch with Jeff here. He's a great guy, great friend, and I think you'll enjoy it. And it's not only the enjoyment of it, it's like shooting at the range and learning to draw. Sure, you can have a good time with it, but it's not only fun and enjoyment, but what we do today could be called upon to save our lives tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, again, I appreciate Jeff coming. We're not going to keep you much longer here. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Like I said, always keep it family friendly. Let me know. And if I don't know the answer, I don't care to tell you. I don't know. And you know what I'll do? I'll ask Jeff. He knows.
And if I don't know, I'll get an answer.
Yeah, but what we'll do is, if you have some questions, if you like want more about knife or handheld weapons or whatever directions you have, maybe me and Jeff will get together another day and maybe answer some questions, have a Q&A, do part 2, 3, or 4, or whatever. But I do think it's very important because even though everybody thinks they'll always have a gun, you never know when somebody in your family may get sick and have to go to a hospital in another state where you have to go and you don't have a gun. And again, we're not paranoid, we're not sitting around work, but just the more you know, the better prepared you are, the better off you'll be. You got anything else, brother?
It's only paranoia if you're wrong.
Good point. Appreciate Jeff coming. So appreciate you watching. Like I said, leave your comments in the description below. Check out my Facebook, Instagram. May God bless you, the Kentucky Patriot. Signing off.